Hey everybody, this is Woo the Wing Cow. I'm just here to talk about my thought process of what I do in Hardline while flying a helicopter. Now this clip is actually pretty long, so I only got the 10 minutes of what I've done so far, but normally when I see vehicles and I'm flying, that's the first thing I actually want to go at. The thing you want to remember is the strongest thing you have on your helicopter isn't the pilot itself, but the gunner. You can take out basically everything with your minigun that the gunner has. So you always want to give your gunner, if you can talk to him and if he's showing that he's competent, you want to give him the clear shots at everything you go after. So here I am just looking around for infantry around the building as we cap, and now I see this car, and that's the first thing I'm going to go after. I always go after vehicles. I want to try to keep the enemy as slow moving as possible. It gives you an advantage on capping points and all that good stuff. You also want to clear the rooftops here, because they always mass on these rooftops, because it's just like everybody wants to be high and be sniping, whether they have sniper rifles or not. So now I'm just letting my gunner do his thing while also taking shots. We're getting all kinds of nice little vehicle kill assists and just assists in general. And this is how you cause havoc on the roof. You make these guys focus on you and not everybody on your team that's running around. And eventually my team's going to be able to actually take this mansion, because me and my gunner are basically tearing him a new asshole on that roof. When we back out, get reset, spot, let the gunner know, all that stuff. I'm talking to him in game too. So that's just how all this lovely stuff goes. And as we start clearing up the last group of guys that were on top of this rooftop, now it's my team that's on top. We're going to control that mansion, and that's also where the attack helo is spawning as well. So you always want to control that area and deny the other team the attack helo as much as possible. Because when you see what I can do with an attack helo, I'm not even... I feel I'm pretty decent at attack helo, but I know there's plenty of people out there that are way better than me. And this is what I can do with it. And you'll see at the end of the game what the score actually is, and how much of an impact a gunner and a pilot talking to each other can really make on this kind of map, especially when there's only one attack helo. The only things you got to worry about, which is what I just got done looking at on that small little island there, is the stinger spots, and there's 2 stinger locations on this map. So you always want to check those areas, because you can survive a stinger shot if you have full health, which we do not. Normally you will not have full health as an attack helo. People are always going to shoot at you. But you can survive with a simple ECM or flare. Personally, I prefer flares because they work. ECMs are kind of like they always been since Battlefield 3. Sometimes the missile will just spin around and blow up on you anyway, and that is pretty annoying. The one thing I do like about the ECM is that it gives you more time to get away if you're in a bad spot and you time the ECM early enough where they can't actually shoot. That's when you actually have the advantage with ECMs. It gives you a little bit longer time and leeway for making mistakes if you're quick on the trigger. But I've noticed that it's kind of difficult to get that done if you have sometimes a bad internet connection like I do. Sometimes you'll see the lock on and you're already getting shot at, and you really didn't have a time. It was just like, oh look, oh, you already fired. Okay, so kind of you just gotta. I prefer the flares just because it gives me a little bit more of a chance to escape, knowing that I have a slower reaction to getting locked onto. But if you're really quick on the trigger finger, ECM is probably the way to go. The one thing after the stingers that can take you out, surprisingly, other than trees, because trees normally are what kill me, because I fly generally low and I'm swooping around trying to kill everything, generally is your snipers. I've been sniped a lot. I'm not saying that snipers are overpowered or anything like that. Don't get the wrong idea, but they can hit you a lot, especially me flying as close as I am usually to them. If they have a decent shot, they're gonna get you. So you're just gonna keep in mind with that stuff. And again, I always target vehicles. Other helos are really good to hit, and just let the gunner do the work. It's the easiest thing in the world right now. It's just let the gunner do his thing. Sometimes your gunners will get out and use you like a transport helo. I don't understand. It's just like, I guess they don't want free kills. Your greatest asset, because I'm using the M3M right now, is vehicles. You are an anti-vehicle gun if you have M3M. You have the HMG, which is what you start off with. You can do both at an average level, but your M3M just tears vehicles up. I generally like to burst it unless I'm just going full auto on vehicles like this one, and then my gunner can actually add a lot of damage to it as well. If you're talking to your gunner, always want to tell him which way you're spinning so he knows which way to lock his aim. That way he doesn't have to like go all the way from the left to right if you spun left and he was on the right side or whatever. But I always look at helos, like other attack helos are your #1 priority, because those will go after you. Stingers are a big deal, snipers, not as big of a deal, but I always look at vehicles first. You're the one thing that can move around the map fast and get rid of vehicles, so you want to do that. Let your infantry on your team take out their guys. And I say infantry because I'm a Battlefield 3 guy. I didn't really like Battlefield 4 too much, but that's just because I don't like the way the attack helo was in Battlefield 4, but that's nothing to do with this. You'll see, generally, you can kill a lot of infantry with the M3M, but if you are going to go the minigun route, that's a much more efficient way. And then here again, I am checking the stinger spot. I see a guy that was near there. I don't know if he had the stinger spot or not, or the stinger, I should say. But you want to kill a guy that's near the stinger spot. You don't want a guy on the other team with a stinger shooting at you, because it's just going to limit where you can go on the map, and that inhibits you from doing what you want to do, and that's kill everybody. Now here, my gunner decided to jump out, and he killed himself in the process. So I have a lot of damage output gone right now. So I'm just trying to take out their spawning vehicle, their command center. And I'm just doing what I can while waiting for him to respawn, because he's coming back in. And here he is, and we can take out their command truck and then move on and do everything else. And he's already immediately going ahead and giving me all kinds of assist points and all that stuff. And here, I'm kind of in a bad spot, but I get lucky. He either gets shot, I pop flares, and he either gets shot, or I just make it out of the visual range, and then, to add to my luck, a vehicle pops up. So, but when you pop flares, you want to usually fly low, because it limits the field of view that the guy with the stinger usually has of you. Sometimes you just can't get away like that. I was just actually really fortunate that either I got out of his field of view because of where I was. If you're high and somebody locks onto you with a stinger, it's really, really difficult to get away without getting hit, even after you pop flares. That's what the ECM is good for, if you can time it right. It gives you like a second or two longer of non-lock-on time than compared to the flares. I don't know the actual numbers behind it because I haven't done any math or anything like that. I'm not that crazy about it. It's just all about feeling it. Here, I'm trying to pay my attention as best as I can to where the trees are, and I'm just letting the gunner do his thing. Here I could get some kills because people are just moving really slow and in a line, making it really easy. Some people are just literally standing still. So it's just overall easy. Your M3M also has a little bit of an explosive radius, so that helps too. You can hit people that are hiding around corners and stuff like that, and that just comes with the anti-vehicle type deal. And here I'm not worried about vehicles anymore. Eventually I'll look for them, but I'm trying to clear the area out around the mansion because they have it capped right now. So I'm doing my best to cause havoc and bring more attention to me. And you can hear the sniper trying to shoot at me. Not really a lot of damage when they hit you. It's not like the Magnum rounds in the beta where it was kind of ridiculous, where it'd be two shooting attack helicopters with a sniper rifle. So, but here we've cleared the outside, so now they are in, for the most part, inside, and that's not anything you can really do about. Like, you can't do anything about it. You just have to let your guys on your team do that, and you go back to hunting anything around. If they come out and they want to get shit on by you and your team, that's fine, but you make sure you own the outside. And then you go back to looking for vehicles if they have any. But the most important thing about being a helicopter pilot is the communication with your gunner. If you and your gunner are talking or in the same squad, or you're flying or you're gunning and your pilot's decent or your gunner's good and you're not in the same squad, one of y'all should move to the same squad so you guys can at least talk in-game talk. That way, it makes things easier. Communication is the biggest thing for attack helos. And it's been that way since like Battlefield like 3 when I played it. I guess I would say Battlefield Forever, but there you go. That's what good helo pilots can do. And yeah, that's Woo the Winged Cow. Hope you enjoyed.